Yo, what is up everybody? It's HN Beast here and welcome back to the channel for another video. What if I told you a single line of code once destroyed a nuclear program, or that a massive corporate empire was humiliated by one anonymous click? You'd probably think I'm talking about some crazy movie plot, right? But I'm dead serious. These aren't sci-fi plots. These are real hacks that reshaped history, exposed secrets, and even changed governments. From cyberwarfare to whistleblowers, this is the craziest stuff they don't teach you in school. So buckle up, because we're about to dive into the greatest hacks in history, and some are still unfolding right now. This dude, Kevin Mitnick, wasn't your average computer geek. This guy was a legend, like the freaking Houdini of hacking. Back in the 80s and 90s, before most people even had internet, Kevin was already breaking into the most secure systems on the planet. We're talking phone companies, government systems, top secret files, you name it, Kevin probably hacked it. But here's the thing, he wasn't just some code-crunching robot. Kevin's superpower was actually social engineering. He could talk his way into anything, convince anyone to give him the information he needed. He'd impersonate employees, exploit human error, and manipulate people into thinking he was their best friend. Dude was a master manipulator. The FBI was on his tail for years, but Kevin was always one step ahead. He became their most wanted cybercriminal, a legend in the hacking world. He was finally caught in 1995 and spent 5 years in prison. But here's where it gets really interesting. After Kevin got out, he did a complete 180. He used his powers for good and became a security consultant, helping companies protect themselves from the very tactics he perfected. Talk about a redemption arc. Kevin Mitnick's story is insane. It shows that the greatest hacks aren't always about crazy code or technical skills. Sometimes it's all about understanding human nature and how to exploit it. Forget tanks and missiles. Imagine a weapon that could cripple a country's infrastructure with just a few lines of code. That's Stuxnet, and it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. In 2010, this mysterious computer virus was discovered in Iran's nuclear facilities. But here's the thing, Stuxnet wasn't stealing data, it was sabotaging the entire system from the inside out. This virus was a silent assassin, quietly and precisely messing with the centrifuges used to enrich uranium. It was like a ghost in the machine, causing real-world damage without anyone knowing what hit them. Experts were baffled at first. This wasn't just some random virus, it was way too sophisticated. It had to be designed by a nation-state with serious resources and a chilling agenda. And they were right. Investigations later revealed that Stuxnet was likely a joint operation between the US and Israel, making it the first cyber weapon ever used to cause physical destruction. The world was in shock. This was a game changer. Cyber warfare wasn't some distant threat anymore, it was a terrifying reality. Stuxnet opened Pandora's box, showing the world just how vulnerable we all are in the digital age. Before computers even existed, there were hackers. During World War II, the Nazis had this super complex machine called Enigma. They used it to encrypt their military communications, thinking their code was unbreakable. The Allies were desperate to crack it. Imagine intercepting enemy messages, but they're just a jumbled mess of letters. Frustrating, right? That's where Alan Turing and his team of brilliant mathematicians came in. They built this massive, clunky machine called the Bomba, designed to test thousands of possible Enigma settings. It was like a giant, mechanical brain working tirelessly to crack the Nazi code. And guess what? They did it. The Allies were able to intercept and decipher German messages, giving them a huge advantage in the war. This hack was a game changer. It helped the Allies predict German attacks, plan strategic maneuvers, and ultimately shorten the war, saving countless lives. The Enigma story reminds us that hacking isn't always about destruction. Sometimes it's about using your brain power to outsmart the enemy and fight for what's right. Imagine a leak so big, so explosive, that it rocks the entire world. That's what the Panama Papers were all about. We're talking 11.5 million confidential documents, leaked from a law firm in Panama. This wasn't just some random data breach. The Panama Papers exposed the dirty secrets of the global elite, politicians, billionaires, celebrities, you name it. They were using offshore tax havens to hide their money, avoid taxes, and basically play by their own rules. The leak sent shockwaves around the globe. Governments launched investigations, people took to the streets in protest, and powerful figures were held accountable for their shady dealings. The craziest part? No one knows for sure who leaked the documents. An anonymous source calling themselves John Doe contacted journalists and handed over the files. The Panama Papers showed the world that even the most powerful people aren't above the law. It proved that one person, armed with the truth, can expose corruption and make a real difference. Picture this: a major Hollywood studio brought to its knees not by bombs or terrorists, but by hackers. That's what happened to Sony Pictures back in 2014. It all started with a comedy film called The Interview, which poked fun at North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un. North Korea was not happy, to say the least. A group calling themselves the Guardians of Peace launched a massive cyber attack on Sony. They stole and leaked everything: private emails, unreleased scripts, even employees' personal information. It was chaos. The hack exposed Hollywood secrets, ruined careers, and cost Sony millions of dollars. The FBI pointed the finger at North Korea, claiming they were behind the attack. The Sony hack was a wake-up call. It showed that cyber warfare isn't just about governments anymore. It can target anyone, anywhere, for any reason. And the consequences can be devastating. These hacks weren't just headlines. They shook governments, rewrote history, and reshaped the world we live in. From the dark web to social media manipulation, the landscape of hacking is constantly evolving. And in an age where everything is connected, the next big hack? It might already be happening. Think about it: our phones, our banks, our elections, it's all vulnerable. So stay vigilant, stay informed, and remember, in the digital age, knowledge is power. If you learned something new, hit that like button, subscribe for more mind-blowing content, and let me know in the comments which hack blew your mind the most.